We are in the habit of saying that it was not in our power to choose the parents who were allotted to us, that they were given to us by chance. But we can choose whose children we would like to be. Seneca. There once was a father of twin boys. Now this father was a single father and he was very poor. He had to juggle between 3 different jobs just to keep the family afloat. He would borrow from his family members. He would borrow from his friends until people started getting sick of it, until they stopped giving him the money. So out of desperation, he turned towards a life of crime in order to keep his children fed. Some local thugs, gangsters, persuaded him that he could participate in a 211, the code name for a robbery. And the spot that they would hit for this lick would be a convenience store. A convenience store that was sure to have enough loot for the 3 of them to split evenly and be well off. So one night they rode off to the convenience store and broke in. To their surprise, the shop clerk was still there and he pulled out a gun. One of the gangsters shot him. The father was shocked. They weren't meant to kill anybody. They weren't meant to hurt anybody. But here he was at the crime scene with 2 other thugs and 1 dead shop clerk. So they grabbed the money and snuck out through the back door. To their surprise, when they opened the back door, there were several police cars and several cops standing there with their guns out their holsters. Needless to say, that father was sentenced to life and he had to leave his children behind. He would later die in jail and his kids would go to foster care. 20 years later, a reporter who was doing a story on the effects of troubled upbringing on kids found the twin boys. One of them was well respected in his community. He was a local entrepreneur and a savvy businessman who gave back and made a lot of money. He created an awesome life for himself, had a loving family, and things were just great. The other one was a criminal, a thug who was constantly in and out of jail, who abused drugs and alcohol, and had no family and no real friends. The reporter asked both the men, "Why did your life end up the way that it did?" To her surprise, they both gave the same answer. "With a father like that, how could I have been anything different?" This is exactly what Seneca is talking about. We don't have to be victims of our parents. We don't have to follow in their footsteps. It is true that we did not choose them to be our parents, that we had no say in the matter. But with the resources we have today, the internet, books, mentorship programs, we can decide whose children we want to be. Now, children does not mean biological children. It means who our role models are, who our idols are, who we look up to, who we admire. The protagonist in my favorite movie, Fight Club, creates this fictional character in his mind, Tyler Durden, this ideal, this man that he wanted to be. He theoretically became the child of Tyler Durden. He acted the way that Tyler Durden would act and took on his philosophies. We can do the same. Not everybody is lucky enough to have parents that instill good qualities in them, that teach them the right things about life, that show them how to be more fulfilled in life and live in accordance with their greatest virtues. Not everybody has that. A lot of people have abusive parents. A lot of people have parents that neglect them. Parents that didn't give them that love, that didn't teach them anything, really. But that's no excuse. With the internet, with all these tools at your disposal, you can figure out what qualities you want to be as a man and model those from others. You can read their books. You can go to their courses. You can communicate with these people. You can follow their blogs, listen to their podcasts. You don't have to be a victim of your parents. You don't have to follow the tyranny of parenthood, the tyranny of upbringing. You can craft your own course strategically, first deciding who you want to be, what qualities you need, and then looking for suitable role models for each category. Perhaps you want to be fit, you want to be healthy, you want to be athletic, strong, have endurance. Then find someone who embodies all those qualities. Perhaps it's a Mr. Olympia bodybuilder, or a jiu-jitsu practitioner, or maybe it's a triathlon athlete. But you can model them, you can learn from them. Or maybe you want to have more money in your life, financial abundance, several streams of income. Then look at the entrepreneurs around you. Look for one that has succeeded in a field that interests you, and follow their lessons. Let them be your father or your mother. Look, I'm not telling you to abandon your biological parents. You can love your biological parents. There's nothing wrong with that. But you don't have to be a carbon copy of them. You don't have to allow your life to reflect their ideals. You are far luckier than your parents ever were, in the sense that when they grew up, they only had their parents to model from. They only had their neighbors, the people in their ecosystem. So if they grew up in an environment that wasn't conducive for success, clarity, and a healthy state of mind, then they would have absorbed those lessons and taught them to you. But because of this internet singularity, because of how connected the world is now, we've broken that gap. And for the first time ever in human history, man can craft his own destiny without any resistance, without anything getting in the way. There are no more barriers to entry. You don't have to listen to your neighbor. You don't have to listen to your mom. You don't have to listen to your dad. In the past, your parents would be one particular religion, would have one particular political view, and one lens in which they saw the world. And you had to embody all those qualities. You had to copy. You had to continue that line of thinking. But now we're seeing a lot of changes in the world. Atheists that are becoming religious people that are becoming atheists, sons and daughters of architects that are becoming artists, sons and daughters of artists that are becoming engineers. We're breaking that connection, that feeling that we need to continue something that started before us. And for the first time ever, we can start to move in the direction that we want, because the blueprints are there. It's a matter of having the fire in the belly to fulfill what we want. Pave your own path. Do this, and I promise you, you'll be one step closer to living and dying well. Thanks for watching the video. I appreciate you. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel and click the bell notifications so we can see more of each other. Until next time.